Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, hi, hello and welcome. My name is Kate and I'm just a hopeless romantic that loves to read. Today's video, we are going through all the books that I have read in the first quarter of 2026 because we are 3 months in, like a quarter of the year gone, done and dusted, and I have read 29 books. So I'm a bit shocked that I've read that much, considering my reading goal every year is like 50 books, right? I read 65 last year, so the fact I'm nearly halfway through the amount of books that I read last year is just wild to me. But I am on a reading roll, especially with my small town romances and my cowboy romances and my sports romance. Like I'm having a good time. So yeah, I'm not going to ramble too much with every book that I've read, but I will just give you a preface of them, whether I recommend it or not, what I loved, what I didn't like, if there's things that I didn't like, and yeah, we can go from there. You can take them as book recommendations, add them to your TBR, or let me know if you've read them, if you feel the same, if you feel differently. Let's chat. So yeah, basically that is this video. So grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get on into this video. So the first book I read was Older by Jennifer Hartman. This was a good book, okay? It is a little long, in my opinion. So this is a best friend's dad, large age gap, obviously, and there is some triggering things in this, like DV. So I'd recommend going over your triggers there. She comes from a broken home, and obviously he is her best friend's dad. I really liked that when their relationship came to light towards the end, that the best friend didn't instantly shame Haley, the FMC, for her choices and decisions. I found that really refreshing in today's society, whether it's reality or book. I feel like the women are always hated on, and it's just, yeah. So I really enjoyed that. I just found in this occasion, I didn't mind the age gap. It was more so that it was best friend's dad. Didn't agree with it. That's my take on this book, but it was a good book. Just a little long and just those few things, but yeah, had a good time. Next is Duke by Jessica Peterson. This is book 4 in the Lucky River Ranch series. Loved this. This is an accidental pregnancy done so bloody well. Not a fan of the trope, but it was done so right. So we have Wheeler. She is a go-getter, businesswoman through and through. And then we have Duke. He comes across as this kind of like going nowhere kind of guy, too carefree, but he has so much depth to him underneath that hard exterior. And he is dreaming of a life outside of his small town. So yeah, he goes and helps her on this business trip. They get stowed in a cabin for the weekend. And yeah, they get it on. Accidental pregnancy, and I think their relationship just blossomed from there so organically and naturally, as if there wasn't a baby involved. Yeah, it was just a really good time. I loved this. Loved. And then my first book club read for this year was To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. So this was a dystopian romance and I loved it. It was action-packed from beginning to end. This is the first book in like a series. I have no idea how many books are going to be in this series, but I need the next one ASAP. So this is about a notorious bounty hunter. Her name is Raven, and she sends all of these criminals to Enlock, which is a prison. But the thing with the prison is that the wealthy actually get to hunt the inmates, and they get to choose who they want to hunt. It's this whole thing, right? So her brother actually gets caught for conspiring with the rebels. She goes into jail, gets herself caught, and wants to like take him out, free him, escape, whatever the words are. And yeah, she then meets the prison guard Vale, and he literally risks his own life just to help her. And their relationship was such a subplot, but it was so beautiful, and I really did enjoy it. There was so much action in this, and the ending, my jaw was on the ground. I need to know what's happening next. Also to Vale as our MMC, he's so interesting because every time I think I figured him out, another spanner gets thrown in, and then I'm back at square one going, who are you? What are your intentions? What are you fighting for? What's the go? So yeah, highly recommend. I then did my first reread of the year, and that was Twisted Games by Anna Huang. So this is Reese and Bridget's story. This This is a Princess Ex-Bodyguard. This is the second book in the Twisted series. Love and adore this even more the second time. This is an age gap. This does span over 4 years. It's so good. There's elements of this that give me Princess Diaries 2. Yeah, look, Reese is the man, the yearning, the slow burn, the tension, and just like the power dynamics that they have. You know, she's in charge in reality, but behind closed door, he's in charge. It's just so good. Had such a good time. It is spicy, it's angsty, it's got so much tension. Such a good time. If you haven't read this series, literally go pick it up. If you want to dip your toe into like darker themes, I highly recommend starting with this series because I did and I loved and adored it. Then next I had a book prompt to start Throne of Glass again. So I managed to get 2 books in before I ended up pulling the plug because I have read these before. I just haven't read Kingdom of Ash, which I have actually started. I'm reading a few chapters here and there in between other books just to get through it, just to finish it off. But I remember everything that happens in this. I forgot how good this first book was. I really did enjoy Throne of Glass. Reading it again the second time, I actually tabbed it a lot more as well. And then we got Crown at Midnight. I think that this was it was an okay book the second time around. I think I really got the impact the first time, and I think I got confused with the ending in this one, An Heir of Fire, as well. I was like, oh no. But yeah, it was kind of a shame that I couldn't trudge on and continue rereading this series because I really did love Queen of Shadows. I remember that, and then I was like, oh, do I just jump forward and read that? I just haven't. Maybe one day after I finish Kingdom of Ash, I might jump back and read Queen of Shadows because that was my favorite book thus far without reading Kingdom of Ash. But yeah, I read these. I think everyone should read this series. It is not a romantasy. It is a fantasy with a romance subplot, and it's got a lot of characters. Okay, there's a lot of world building, a lot of political intrigue. There's a lot that happens within these, a lot of characters you follow as well. It's, yeah, you get very invested very quickly. The next book I read was The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith, and I loved this so much. I cannot wait for this duology to be completed in a few weeks. So we pretty much have Bridgerton meets Fae within this. So a Fae queen actually rules the society here, and she like has these rose bargains. Okay, if you want, say, a great singing voice, then you have to give up, I don't know, your eyelashes or something. So it's like a bargain in that sense. Her son is actually competing, well, not competing, he's looking for a wife this season, and we have 6 girls that enter into this kind of like bachelor competitions, trials situation to win his hand. And the sisterhood that gets built in this, I love and adore so much. But then we also have the prince's half human brother, who is also the other prince, Emmett, who is helping our FMC Ivy to win his hand, and they end up falling in love on the side. There's a lot of things that happen at the end of this that my jaw is on the ground, and I need to know what happens next and how this ends, because I feel like book 2 is going to be so action-packed and I don't know how it's going to go. But yeah, this is 1000% yes, read it. I forgot to mention that I did read The Assassin's Blade third. So this is pretty much the 0.5 book to the Throne of Glass series, if you don't know. I read it third the first time, and I still read it third the second time, and I still think that that is the perfect spot for the emotional impact that this book has and everything that you read in the first 2 books to really feel everything with these 5 short novellas. So yeah, that's my opinion. Read it third. Then, oh, I fell in love with this book. Please Don't Go by E. Salvador. This was such a great like college athletes romance, but there was so much emotional depth within this. Okay, we went through grief, trauma, depression, loneliness. There was so much jam-packed into this, and it was handled with so much care. So please check your triggers, because it's literally from the first chapter you were just thrown in the deep end going through this. So our FMC, she is an ex competitive swimmer, and then our MMC, he is a baseball D1, I don't even know what you call it in college, but he's like top tier in the college D1, I think, Division 1 in the college games. Anyways, so he is a golden retriever through and through, but he is a wounded hero, okay? Underneath all of his bright happiness, sunshine, he is deeply wounded from the loss of his brother. And then our FMC, she is dealing with her loss of her mother. So there's a lot going on there. They kind of lean on each other to the point they need to go get help separately to then come back. And it's just so beautiful, and the people around them. And I'm excited for book 2. Highly recommend this so much. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. Then I went and listened to Bluebird Gold by Debney Perry. So this was so good. It's a part of like the free audio on Kindle Unlimited, so I listened to it. Oh, it's set in the 80s, right? Our FMC, her dad has recently passed away, so she's gone to this small town in the mountains to kind of pack up his cabin and get all the things sorted and in order. And she kind of discovers that he was on this path to uncovering this mystery kind of treasure, gold, because it's like the gold rush period there. And yeah, some other people are trying to find the gold too. So her dad's accident wasn't really an accident, she finds out, and Cosy Rains, our single dad, Sheriff Withermo, steps in, wants to protect her, wants to help her, and it's just so beautiful. He offers her his home for her. She goes and teaches at her son's school. They create a bond there as well. It's just so beautiful. I loved this so much. I had such a good time. It was such a great listen, and this really has opened up my eyes to the definition of romantic suspense in such a glorious way that I have recently purchased some that I need to get my hands on and read, because I'm itching for that whole genre category. Oh, this was so good. Next, I read Problematic Summer Romance by Ellie Hazelwood. This I would recommend if you like messy, chaotic, fast-paced situations, because this is a sequel book to Not in Love. So we have Rue and Eli's wedding from that couple from that book in this one here. So we have everyone for a whole week in Italy. It's just, there's a lot going on, okay? There's a lot of people, a lot of drama, a lot of mess. But we also get flashbacks because his sister is like this really intelligent scientist. She's really going places. She's only 23. And then his best friend, who is, I think he's like 38. Yeah, he's 38. He's a billionaire brother's best friend, okay? But 2 years ago, he actually visited her in like Edinburgh, where she was studying abroad, because she was like upset and things were happening. It was just, yeah, it was like, man, you've been breadcrumbing her for 2 years. Like, that was my issue. And she has been waiting for him to love her for 2 years and to pick her. And like, yes, she's blunt, she's direct, and I love that about her, but in my opinion, my morals again with this, no woman should beg a man to love her. And he just kept blaming it on like their power dynamic and their age gap and just a whole lot of other things he kept throwing at it. And it's just like, dude, you're missing the point. You know, she's there for you. Like, you're missing the point. Anyways, if you love chaotic, funny, good time, messy, then go for this one. Then my book club read in February was How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson. This was such a fun, good time. This is a romantic comedy slasher kind of horror. It was so intriguing. I have never read a horror before, whereas a lot of girls in the book club had, so they could kind of see where this was leading and where it was going, and you know, who the unaliver was. But yeah, essentially we have two best friends that go to this speed dating in this like warehouse. Anyways, they start dating these men. Next minute, lights go out, lights come back on, and the person sitting across from our FMC has his neck gone. Okay, so she has now entered a slasher film. Now she is currently doing her PhD in rom-coms and slasher films, and she has like this whole list of a survival kit for a slasher film, and she pretty much disobeys every single one of them. So funny. There is a little bit of love, interest, and spice in this as well, which I was like, if there's someone out there trying to kill people, why are we doing this sort of stuff in the janitor's closet? Like, but anyways, it added to it all. All right, there was a lot going on, a lot of suspense happening. Like, I don't read horror at all. Like, this was probably as close to horror as I've ever gotten, and I was on the edge of my seat wanting to know what happens next. It isn't the biggest book in the world. It did kind of drag on a little bit because we were stuck only within this warehouse, and there was 3 levels, but it just kind of was getting like, come on, get to the end. Like, I had enough essentially, but that's just me and how I read this. But I had such a fun good time with this. Did not see the end coming. Again, I don't read this very often. A lot of the girls in the book club did, so I was like, don't care. I had a fun good time, and I do recommend this. So now this isn't in order because I've kind of read this over February, March, but I read Laura Pavlov's Rosewood River series. And I went to the lengths of buying the US sprayed edges editions because I am utterly, oh, bless you. I am utterly obsessed with this series. I started reading it on my Kindle, and then I was like, no, I need the physical. I need the trophy. So we have Steal My Heart. This is the workplace romance. We have Hanley. She is a fresh grad lawyer. Her dad owns a law firm. So then she gets sent to the small town Rosewood River, and she is to work under this grumpy MMC Eaton. He is obsessed with pickleball, and he just thinks he's going to be babysitting the boss's daughter for a while, and that does not happen. She holds her own. She knows what she's doing. They fall in love. It's great. He's obsessed with her and will do anything for her, right? How good. And then we have My Silver Lining. So we then have Hanley's best friend in this. She is a jewelry designer, and her family is quite wealthy. And then we have Eaton's brother Rafe in this. He works in finance. So they end up fake dating. This is like the funniest book of them all, okay? Because Lulu literally punches him in the throat for their meet cute. So funny. Just the injuries, shared showers. It's just, this was a fun good time. And when they finally realize their feelings for one another, it's just so beautiful. And Rafe really does put in the definition of, I'm going to support my girl no matter what. And yeah, loved it. So then we have Over the Moon. This is Clark and Eloise's story. So Clark is another brother. He is a professional hockey player, and Eloise is the coach's daughter, but also the new physiotherapist on the team. So we have a forbidden romance, coach's daughter situation going on here, and it is such a fun good time. So Clark won the Stanley Cup, but he's injured his MCL now because he is the #1 star player, and he's coming off the season of his career. Eloise has been sent to Rosewood River to make sure he is recovering properly, and it all just kind of goes from there. She wants to be 1000% professional the entire time, and Clark's the biggest flirt ever. So we all know how that would go. I really did enjoy this so much because it reminded me a lot of Play Along by Liz Tom 40 and the ending to that. So highly recommend this if you loved that book. And then I have Crazy in Love. So this is my favorite book of this entire series, right? We have Bridger. He is a grumpy billionaire. And then we have Amelia. She is the florist shop owner in town. Her family actually owns the newspaper, and there's this gossip column, kind of like a Lady Whistledown situation. It's called Taylor's Tea, and it's consistently writing about his family. So Bridger is like, it has to be Amelia. Her family owns the bloody newspaper, so it has to be her. And like from the first book, everyone's like, no, it's not her. So anyways, she's sick of it. She's over it. She takes a polygraph test, proves him wrong, and then he's like begging for her to forgive him, and it kind of just goes from there. It's really sweet, there's a lot of silent love in this as well, very tender. I loved it. I mean, who doesn't love a broody billionaire that then falls to his knees for a girl? Like, come on. And then we have In a Heartbeat. Oh my god, this is a childhood best friends to lovers book. This is the slowest burn of them all. This is the sweetest book of them all. So who are they? We have Ren. She is a professional jockey, and then we have Axel, which is the cousin. Yeah, Axel. He is the cousin. He is the cowboy. He runs the ranch. Okay, so something happened when they were younger, so they stopped being best friends. Anyways, she comes back to town, bit down on her luck, and she ends up getting a temp job to be his like ranch accountant, financial person, get his books in order. He literally will do anything for this woman. And I think that's what I love most about this man, is that he just wants her to thrive, succeed, and he's always wanted that. And she's just had a lot of people in her head getting in the way. But this time Axel was like, no, no one's getting in the way. We're doing this. You're doing what you want to do. I'm doing what I want to do, but we're going to do life together as well. So it was just, chef's kiss. Loved it. And then the last book is Whisper Sweet Nothings. This has just come out as well. So this is a recently finished, completed series. So this is the single dad ex-nanny, and we have been waiting for Archer's bloody story from the get-go, because he has had a fossil of a nanny looking after his little girl Melody. And yeah, so we finally get the cafe owner's daughter coming along, Winnie. She is also a romance author, which I found tied in very well. So yeah, Archer is a realtor, and yeah, single dad, ex-nanny. They have like a little room granny flat thing for her as well, so they're under the same roof essentially. But yeah, their chemistry just builds really quickly, really naturally, and Melody's relationship with her dad and like all the other brothers and the cousins and the whole family in the small town. And then when Winnie comes along, it's just, I'm in awe of their relationship too and how they are with each other. It was so beautiful. And then the epilogue that we got 20 years later, where it's setting up for her next generation series with Beefcake and Melody, and I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. Highly recommend this entire series because there's such great banter, found friendship with the females and the small town. There's just so much going on. And even like with Taylor T, like having that gossip column just there in the background, loved every second of this series, and I highly recommend it all. It's all on Kindle Unlimited, so you have no excuse. Now this next book, I went in completely blind, and I highly recommend doing that as well. And it was Before We Came by Salone St. James. So basically our FMC, her mother has died and a lot of secrets have been kind of uncovered. Like literally the first 100 pages, you're just engrossed into like building this plot with what the author is giving us. Like, Salone really did me real good with this book. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you too much about the FMC there, but then our MMC has been pining, yearning, waiting for our FMC forever. He is a 31 professional ice hockey player. So good. Okay, also brother's best friend. Second chance with this one. I ate it up. It was so good, so emotional, so raw. There was so many like triggering things in this as well. I think check your triggers. They're not cutthroat or savage or deep, but there are just like things that happen in this that might trigger you. I found it very emotional. I found it handled very well, and yeah, I think you should go into this blind. It is book 1 in this series. I'm yet to move on to book 2, but I do have it on audio because I heard a lot of people saying that the audio for book 2 is better than the actual book. But I did read this on my Kindle. Highly recommend. I then did another reread, and it was Mile High by List on 40. This is book 1 in the Windy City series. So I started reading this because In Her Own League was coming out, and I was like, I need to reread this series. I miss my men. So this is Xander's and Stevie's story. If you don't know, Xander's is a co-captain of the professional ice hockey team. He is a reformed playboy through and through. He is so cocky, he is so confident. And then we have Stevie, who is his flight attendant. Okay, she is a curvy girl representation. She has a lot of insecurities within herself, her skin, her body, and Xander's is like seen her and gone, you're my girl, I am only for you, eyes only for you, I want you to date me. Obviously they can't because basically she works for him with the airline, so there's all of that. But yeah, he brings out this confidence within Stevie that I related to so much, being more on the curvier side myself. So I thoroughly enjoyed this book, more so the second time. Actually, no, I appreciated this book more so the second time with everything, because I really got the gravity of this book. So yeah, if you haven't read this series, I do recommend reading it. It is a go-to series of mine. A lot of people struggle with the first book. Yes, it is a little long, I will admit that, but I feel like it's such a foundation book that you need to read. So yeah, push through if you're not really into it, but oh, it is such a good time. I really enjoyed it. I don't know why people give it so much hate, but anyways. Then I did my first ever buddy read actually with Kaylee, who is my friend over on TikTok. We read Burning Daylight by Emily McIntyre. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. This was so poetic with the words that these two main characters spoke to one another. So basically, she obviously comes from one wealthy family and he is a hidden heir of another. He comes to light. They meet prior to that though, no names, have no idea who each other was, and they kind of created this bond and they had this spot that they kept meeting at. But yeah, once he came into the limelight as this heir, things then started to get a little messy, essentially. Very dangerous very quickly. There was a lot of things that were happening. It is on the chunkier side, but I think it was worth every single moment because Emily McIntyre does write these like fairy tales or Shakespeare's, you know, and she always gives them a happily ever after. So I was waiting for the tragedy because obviously it's Romeo and Juliet. So from like 80%, my jaw was on the ground. I had no idea what was going to happen. It was so full on. I could not put it down. Like Kaylee and I think we did 150 pages just to smash it out one night because we were so engrossed and addicted to this whole book. Loved it so much, and it got her out of a reading slump. So yeah, I recommend this. And then my March book club read was Songbird of the Sorrows by Bridie Otto. So this is a romantasy. This was such a cool concept, cool book. All right, so we have our FMC. She was a princess. Her and her father, the king, was like, no, go train to be a spy. She's gone to be like a spy assassin, training at this college. She graduates, then she gets put into this mission to be herself again as a princess and to go compete for this prince's hand in another kingdom in these like trial games. But the actual mission was to uncover like intelligence of this weapon that could harm her kingdom. So there was this whole thing that went through, and the MMC that went with her on this mission. Yeah, look, I wasn't in my romantasy stage to be reading this, so the chemistry lacked for me because I was reading a whole bunch of like sports romance, small town romance, so swoon worthy through and through, whereas this was more like, oh, secret, forbidden, can't go there, like, yeah. And I was like, oh, just go there, you know. But this concept was so cool. A lot of world building, I will say that, a lot of world building. But the way that this book ends and how this book has set up for book 2, I'm excited, I'm ready for it. So I do recommend this, I really do. This was a fun concept. I think that future me that's in the mood for romantasy, when I do reread this before the second book, is going to love it a lot more. But yeah, I do recommend this. And like I said earlier, In Her Own League by Liz Tomforty came out. So this was my most anticipated read for the year, and I don't really have a whole lot, but this is a spin-off book from Monty's story. He is the coach of Isaiah and Kai from Caught Up and Play Along, which is book 3 and 4 in the Windy City series. So I feel like Liz just wrote this book for us, the fans. This was such a beautiful love letter to us because we wanted his and Reese's story so much. So there is an age gap. She has been given the NBL team that he is the coach on. So there's like this power imbalance kind of thing. She is a female in a male dominant industry, which I so related to because I work in construction. So I was like, yes, girl, badass, be a boss. And Emmett Montgomery, he's the man, okay? He is patient, he is caring, he's always caring about everyone else. And then, you know, Tab Reese then care about him, and they just balanced each other out. And it was so, so beautiful. Like, I've never had a tabbing system, and this book made me put one together because there was just so much in this book that I loved and adored. This is so far my favorite read this year. Through and through, easy. However, I do recommend, if you don't want to read the full Windy City series and you want to read this, you can. It is technically a standalone, it is technically a spin-off, but I feel like you're gonna miss a lot of Easter eggs if you don't read at least Caught Up and Play Along, like I said, book 3 and 4, because that's where Emmett, and then we get the glimpse of Reese in there as well. So yeah, I would recommend those 2 books and not going into this fully blind. Down to my last two books that I've read, and this is In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. This is the last book in the When in Rome series. This was so good. So this follows the last sister, Madison. She is a culinary chef in New York. We've followed her journey and her kind of insecurities and how vulnerable she is, because she honestly just thinks that she's failing at life. So when she finally graduates, she actually comes back home and she feels like a failure because she obviously just did not cut it in New York. At least that's how she feels. And then we have James, who has been her brother's best friend her entire childhood, so they know each other so well. He is a farmer and he kind of got in touch with her. Well, she accidentally called him and they had a conversation. He knew that she was upset. She kind of opened up to him and said, hey, look, I'm failing here. Okay, I'm graduating, I don't have a job, blah blah blah. And he goes, well, I've got a restaurant actually I need a chef for, so you want to come do that? And she was like, hell yeah, I do. Let's go. Did this restaurant exist? No. So he basically got his brother in to help put it all together and make it happen just for her. I mean, the pining and the yearning that this man has done for years. He's just been waiting for Madison to see him. And when she does, oh, it's so beautiful. When she stops fighting the whole, my brother's best friend, like, I can't go there, blah, blah, blah. It's so beautiful. Loved this. And now book 29, we have Picture Perfect by Tessa Bailey. This is book 4 in the Big Shot series by her. And yeah, look, this was a fun, good time. We follow Robbie. He is an NHL rookie. And then we have Skylar, who is a college pitcher. She has an arm on her. I think she's like an American all-star pitcher person. I don't actually know the terminology. I'm in Australia. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, so he is just so used to getting all the attention, okay? And then she wants absolutely nothing to do with him. But what happens is they kind of made this deal, went on a date. Now they have this kind of fake dating relationship happening because she has a family wilderness competition that happens every year. Her best friend, Eve, can't come and do it. So she's like, hey, Robbie, you're going to come do this so I can make my brother's best friend jealous because I've been pining for him my whole life. And he was like, yeah, sure, cool. Anyway, he has been just down bad from her the moment he saw her. Like, this is honestly a quick burn, borderline insta love, which is not my cup of tea at all, but this was done so well that I enjoyed it. It was funny, it was chaotic, it was a good time because like from day one he was like, yeah, sure, cool, I'll help you make your brother's best friend jealous so he can ask you out and things can happen. And then day 2 came, he was like, actually no, I'm better than him, you should pick me and I will prove it to you. And he did. So I loved that because he actually wasn't just like physically attracted to her, he admired her and who she was. Like, yeah, it was so beautiful. Just some of the things that he did, acts of service, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Loved it. Was it the best book in the series? No, but it was a good book, okay? So I do recommend it. So there you have it. Those were my 29 books that I have read in the first quarter of 2026. Golly gosh, I had so many good reads. I know, I've recommended a lot of books to you. So many are on Kindle Unlimited as well, so they're easily accessible for you as well. I had a good time reading these books, and I am very intentional with the books that I am picking up and I'm reading. I'm very much into my small town romances and my sports romances. As you can see, I haven't really picked up too many fantasies, which is fine. Like, we all have these stages. I know that I'll probably be in a romantasy stage in a couple of months once I'm over reading all these small town romances and like the same tropes in the sports romances, but it's fine because I'm having a fun good time and everyone pretty much writes these plots and stories differently. Yeah, if you stuck around for this long, thank you so much. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my content. I am trying to be more consistent, posting on Mondays and Fridays. If you also want to follow me on my other socials, I'll leave my handle on the screen. Come join the Bookish Chaos over there because I'm all over the socials. But yeah, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day or night, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.